We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order of July 27th of the Utility Services Board meeting for the City of Bloomington. And just a reminder that our mission is to enhance the quality of life in our community by providing safe, sustainable, and high-quality drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater services in a cost-effective manner, promoting public health, economic vitality, and environmental stewardship. And our vision is that CBU will be the leading municipal water utility organization in Indiana. All right, first on our agenda is petitions and communications. Do we have any petitions or communications from the public? Seeing none, we'll go to approval of the minutes of the previous meeting, and that would be July 13th, 2026. And
Move that we approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Minutes are approved. Next is standard invoices in the amount of $1,921,561.09. Any discussion or questions from the board on standard invoices?
Oh, I was raising for something. I move that we approve the standard claims.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded to approve standard invoices. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, invoices are approved. Next is utility bills for July 16th in the amount of $49,026.37. Any questions or discussion on utility bills for July 16th?
I move that we approve the utility bills for July 16th.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. And next is utility bills for July 23rd in the amount of $4,758.67.
I move that we approve the utility bills for July 23rd.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded without any other discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, utility bills for the 23rd are approved. Next is wire transfers in the amount of $577,690.48. Any discussion on the wire transfers?
Just for the record, I think it's $577,670.48.
Great, thank you. I stand corrected in my speech there. Thank you. Any discussion on those?
I move that we approve the wire transfers.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, wire transfers are approved. Next is customer refunds in the amount of $3,409.57. Questions on the refunds?
I move that we approve the customer refunds.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, refunds are approved. Then we have a special check run of $7,230.42. Any questions on those expenditures? Discussion? Bless you.
I move that we approve the special check run.
Second.
Okay, special check run's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, those are approved. I failed to mention that we have a new ex officio member with us this evening. Lynn Coyne is joining us as the new Director of Planning. Is it interim?
Interim Director of Planning and Transportation.
Director of Planning and Transportation for the City of Bloomington. We're glad to have you, Lynn, and thank you for joining us. We look forward to having you at all of our meetings. And we'll ask questions, and you can ask questions too, and we'll keep it all coordinated.
Oh, no. Well, thank you. It's great to be here. It's great to work with Cap.
Thank you, Glenn. Good to have you. All right, next is approval of item 5 is approval of the consent agenda in the amount of $28,989.84. Director Zeiger will let us know about that.
Good evening, I'm Catherine Sager, Utilities Director. I'm presenting tonight's consent agenda totaling $28,989.84. The first contract is with Shambaugh & Sons LP DBA Precision Controls of Indy for $12,361.98. It's an extension of the expiration date for HVAC work at the Utility Service Center. Next is with Vet Environmental Engineering LLC for $11,441.95 for water main relocation site investigation at West Jed and West Joy Streets. Next is with McAllister Machinery Company Incorporated for $5,185.91 to replace the control panel on a switchgear for generator at Blucher Pool Wastewater Treatment Plant. Is there any member who wishes to consider one or more of these items individually? Hearing none, if there's no opposition, these items will be approved as recommended by staff. Hearing no opposition, the consent agenda is approved.
Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that. Next item is item 6, requesting approval of the 2024 interdepartmental agreement between the City of Bloomington and CBU. Matt Havey and Jeff McKim are here.
So I'll take the lead on, give that summary we can show. So my plan here is to take everybody through a summary of where we were in 2023 and then tell you or communicate to you what we came up with as a process going forward for 2024 and 2025. Utilities, the Office of the Mayor, the Office of the Controller, Public Works have all been involved in this conversation. So I feel pretty confident that we have a pretty good process going forward. So my plan is to take you through the percentages and then kind of give you an idea of how they were brought up or how they were calculated. And so if you look at the, is that the clerk up there first? Or controller, I can't read it from here.
Yeah,
Clerk, so back in 2023, our allocation to the clerk was 1%. After discussions with the team, we decided that utilities really doesn't need to fund the clerk's office, so we changed that to 0 going forward. Common Council in 2023, we were paying 7.2%. Again, the team decided that the utilities didn't need to fund that. Same with ESD. Engineering, we kept the same. And the work that they do for us is they waive right-of-way fees. There's $100 flat permit fee, and they streamline the processes for the utility, so we felt that it was prudent to keep some money in for engineering. Fire, again, was reduced to 0. Human resources was changed to a percentage of headcount. So that's the HR budget based on each department's headcount going forward. So hopefully that please every ITS is based on the people in the hardware that we have for the utilities. So there is a detailed summary behind the numbers and assumptions we're using for IT. Planning, we went down to 0 again, and with the police it's the same. We decided that utilities really didn't need to be funding those two divisions or departments. Risk management was based on how much time the risk team spent with automobile accident claims and general liability claims. So that's based on the size and breadth of the claims and how many there were. For 2024, it was deemed to be about 12% of their time, and for 2025, it was deemed to be about 20% of their time. For the workman's comp, that is calculated as you either use the lower of the payroll exposure or the 3-year rolling average. So we do have a process in place for that. So that percentage will change based on, what numbers the rolling average come out to or the payroll comes out to. Control, there's a typo there on my part. D14 should be minus 40. And the reason it went from minus 100 is because in 2023, we were using 100% of a number that was just given. And now we have a formula and assumptions behind it to get to 100%, and we're allocating 40% to public works. So that's just us showing our math more. And then,
I'm sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I'm following on the minus percentages, which I know we're gonna get to at line 15 as well.
So the minus percentages are items that CBU charges the civil city for.
Okay.
Yep, so we have the control office over here.
Yes.
And so, Public Works is going to pick up 40% of that going forward.
Okay,
And then we do the billing for sanitation, and so that calculation stayed the same.
okay. So, back to line 14, control 24/7.
Yep,
In 2023, the city picked up 100% of that, but in 2024, and then you said corrected in 2025, they will cover 40% of that,
so
correct?
in 2023, they were paying 50%, but the way the files were set up, we didn't sum everything together and then allocate 50%.
Okay,
We just put in one number saying this was 50%. And so they were paying 100% of the 50%, right? So they were paying 100% of 50%, and now they'd be paying 40% of the actual total.
of the total amount?
Yes.
Okay,
But then what about, so then it goes back up for 2025?
That's the typo that I had in there. That's supposed to be 40.
That's supposed to be
Yep,
40.
yep.
Okay.
Okay,
Yep,
so.
that helps.
So CBU is covering 40%
60.
or 60.
60,
Yeah.
And then
Public Works is doing the
Public
40.
Works
Yep.
takes 4. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
and that's based on calls and whatnot, I
Yeah,
assume, just
and-
like all the other categories that you
Pretty
work
much. I
through.
mean, we don't really track the calls, but we had a conversation with Public Works, and we decided that 40% made more sense going forward, so.
Okay,
And then for sanitation billing, we have a department for that, so we just sum that up and charge them for all that, and that's our labor and the printing costs, postage, and all that stuff. So those are the assumptions that we have baked in going forward for 2020. Well, I know we're going past, but going forward from 2023. So I'm happy to field any. Oh, and there's a couple things over to the right as well. So the controller's office went through each person in the controller's department, office of the controller, and they made an estimate of how much time each person or each role spends on utilities work. So that's where that came from. The legal assumption is one full-time attorney and 10% of a paralegal, I think is what the term is. And the mayor's office is just a proportion of the mayor, deputy mayor, and the communication manager's salaries.
Can I just
Yeah,
get?
absolutely,
Sorry,
absolutely,
Jeff
please.
McKim, City Controller, and thanks, Matt, for the detailed description. Particularly for there are several numbers that you'll see that may have gone up for 2025, and including the mayor's office, and that was because of the union negotiations. So we would expect it to go probably back down to the 2024 level in the future. But we actually did a kind of detailed discussion with the relevant staff and did our best to kind of estimate the amount of costs that were actually spent on CBU issues.
And so if you want to scroll down, there's a little summary for the actual dollar amounts. So you can see what those changes, percentages yielded for a new rate for each of the departments. And then, so if you have any questions, if you take 2023, compare that to 2024, based on these expenses, we reduced the interdepartmental that the utilities owes by about $840,000 in 2024, and in 2025 compared to 2023, it's about $661,000.
a few comments. So number one, thank you for providing these, detailed numbers, really looking at this together with the teams. This is what we've been looking for years. Especially I think HR is the easiest one. What's our head count for the city? And so it's awesome to have these numbers in front of us. So thank you for your time with this. When we're looking at the dollars, when we talk about we pay the interdepartmental agreement, when we're looking at the control 24/7 and the sanitation, and that's subtracted off of our bill, then so it's not like we say, okay, well this is what we sent in paper and postage, and we send sanitation a bill and they send us a check.
Correct.
That's not what happens. No. So when we're looking ahead at, we're keeping track in 2026, so we know when we have this conversation next year, this is exactly what was spent on postage and everything, and that's what we'll get back.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Yeah, Amanda.
So I echo again what Megan said. Thank you both for really drilling into this and for all the other team members that were involved. So we've asked for this for a long time. So the fact that you've kind of gone through and done all the nitty gritty on it, thank you.
No problem.
You know what I'm going to ask probably. Can you guess?
I got one guess, but
Fleet?
I'll keep it to myself, yeah.
Okay, so in the memo, it outlines some other costs that are not reflective in the spreadsheet here. So but some are, so I'm
Right.
kind of going back and forth here. I understand the healthcare trust. I
Okay.
get,
Sure.
I'm just very grateful that we have insurance for our employees. That's fantastic. Maintenance. So the fleet maintenance cost is, in addition to all of this, another $850,000.
That's correct.
That is not reflective here. My last notes on fleet are from our April 6th meeting of this year, that you guys were going to look at the numbers and is this the result of the negotiation, or is there with fleet, or is there still stuff going on?
This is, the negotiation with fleet will be going forward. These years are already done, so these have all been agreed upon, and with fleet, it's been paid.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thank you for the reminder on that. So
why-
these are still these are the old numbers.
Yes. Well, from 2024, but we haven't changed how we do fleet yet. So the process is still the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when, I think we brought this to the board, as early as I can remember, is February of 2025. Now we are at, where are we? June 2026. How are we getting any closer to that negotiation, those numbers?
We've had conversations, but we haven't actually bottomed out how we want to carry forward with how we handle the fleet charges.
Okay.
Better update than that, Kat, I don't know. But there are ongoing conversations.
Okay, so I guess, at what point do we expect to have answers on this?
That I'm not sure of. So,
Okay.
May I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
say that the first time that it would really even be possible would be for the 2027 budget. Because, the fleet set rate is already set for 2026, and it's basically the total costs divided by
That's in the
vehicles
budget that we're approving today. That's in the budget already. So we're going to be going
Almost 3 years into this.
really even before that,
We've had-
2024. I have written down 2025. I
think
know
it's
that was
before
the
that.
first time we talked about it. So we've gone 2024, 2025, 2026. We're going to approve 2027
And
today.
we're still going to be in conversation.
And we're still in conversations. 5 year, we're coming on 4 and 5 years. That I guess I don't understand why we can't get solid answers on this. So I'll approve this today because I know it's past paid, but we're 5 years without an answer. And I just don't think that's acceptable. So
Understood.
I'll go, and then that's all I have.
Good points. Other questions about our interdepartmentals for 24 and 25? Well, we're still at 24 because we got to approve each one.
Yeah, but
But
just,
the presentation's for both. right?
correct.
I got you. And, you know, man, I was thinking about what we're gonna do when we get to 27, and to your point, we're gonna be approving a number for 27 in fleet, but it could always still be adjusted according to how staff comes back with actual costs if we get to that point, you know? We've still gotta approve a number, but, the, you know, ongoing discussion with fleet, between fleet and us and the controller's office, that can all come together still in 27.
For the 2028 budget.
Well, you know, we're gonna approve a number for 27,
Sure.
but if there's a better formula, we could adjust up or down. Even down.
These are the same conversations we were having 3 years ago,
Yeah.
respectfully.
Makes sense.
It's a difficult, you know, as we know, this is a complicated question. But we still are interested in making sure, the whole idea is making sure that we're getting the best results in service for the right cost for our ratepayers. But, you know, I think we've taken a big step forward here in that kind of accountability with this interdepartmental allocation process that we're seeing this evening. It's a good thing. Headed in the right direction.
I
All
move
right.
that we approve the 2024 interdepartmental agreement between the city of Bloomington and CBU.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the 2024 interdepartmental agreement. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next is requesting approval of the 2025 interdepartmental agreement between the city of Bloomington and CBU. We've had our staff presentation. Any further questions or discussion?
I move that we approve the 2025 interdepartmental agreement between the city of Bloomington and CBU.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next, item 8, requesting approval of the conflict of interest disclosure. And I need to make a statement that I'll be recusing myself from discussion and vote on this issue. Our vice president isn't here. I can still call for votes, though, can't I, or should I pass that gavel to someone? I should pass the gavel to someone.
Please, to the former
Former.
Here we go. Immediate past president.
past.
Okay. Audrey Brittingham will be presenting the information on the approval of the conflict of interest.
Hi everyone, Audrey Brittingham, City Attorney for the City of Bloomington. I am here to present and request approval for the conflict of interest form that Kirk White has completed. So Kirk is entering into a contract with the Office of the Mayor for certain services unrelated to his work with the Utility Service Board. Whenever a public servant contracts with the entity in which they also serve on a board or are employed to work for, then they can only enter into a contract with that entity under specific circumstances. One of the circumstances are basically if the work is entirely unrelated to what they do as a public servant, and as if when they've made certain disclosures and public disclosures and filed that disclosure with the state of Indiana and with Monroe County. So essentially what this is Mr. Kirk has completed the required state conflict of interest disclosure statement. That is what's in your packet here. It lays out the required information that the state asks for in order to essentially sort of waive or allow the contract to move forward. And we're asking, and then part of the requirements is that the conflict of interest be signed by a public body and presented to and signed and approved by a public body. And so we're here asking for the USB's approval and signature of the conflict of interest disclosure statement. I'm happy to answer questions that you have about this.
Thank you, Audrey. Any questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, do we have a motion for approval?
I move approval. Go ahead.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. All right. Thanks again, Audrey.
Thank you.
The motion passes.
Motion's passed.
All right. Thank you, Seth, for taking over there. Hey, Dan. All right, item 9 is requesting approval of the 2027 budget recommendations. And we're in that stage of where we heard proposals at our last meeting, kind of a draft, and our director is here this evening to take us through the presentation for 2027.
Catherine Zager, Utilities Director. I'm presenting tonight our 2027 budget for City of Bloomington Utilities. I'd like to note with this presentation that this is the first of 2 opportunities that the USB has to see this budget. So I'm welcoming any and all suggestions, and if you do not have them tonight, feel free to send them via email. If perchance you want to vote on it tonight, you're also able to do that. So just want to let you know. All right, well, with that. Okay, the City of Bloomington Utilities mission is to enhance the quality of life in our community by providing safe, sustainable, and high-quality drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater services in a cost-effective manner, promoting public health, economic vitality, and environmental stewardship. City of Bloomington Utilities is currently staffed with 191 full-time staff and 4 permanent part-time staff. Our budget change from the 2026 budget is an addition of $7,560,000. And our key budget topics for 2027 center around the implementation of our water rate case beginning September 2026, continued investment in Monroe Water Treatment Plant modernization, and distribution system improvements, including strategic water main replacement and booster station upgrades. Now I'll take you through some 2026 highlights. In water, some of our highlights were that we rehabilitated our fluoride system and returned consistent fluoride to our drinking water. We rehabilitated our low service pump number 4. We installed a secondary backwash pump, and we are undergoing currently our chemical feed line project that will put new chemical feed lines at the plant to increase our resiliency. In wastewater in 2026, we had the rehabilitation of the non-potable water pumps at Blucher Pool, the replacement of VFDs at Blucher Pool, replacement of suction lines in the pump station at Dillman, and then the installation of a 5th blower to increase the plant flow rate at Dillman. In stormwater, the Clear Creek Renewal Feasibility Study, RFQ, was released, and the firm was selected to conduct the feasibility study. We completed the Winslow Rain Garden as part of our continued commitment to partnering with City of Bloomington Engineering for the installation of green infrastructure and right-of-way projects where possible. We also had our SPIA O'Neill Fellow delivered a report on the E. coli sampling project in Clear Creek and its tributaries. This report included recommendations and identified where higher concentrations were found to guide illicit discharge elimination programs. I also want to give a brief update on our assistance program. I think it's truly worth highlighting. In 2025, CBU budgeted $100,000 each year for the program, but our participation levels did not fully utilize the available funding. This prompted some program updates that include two major categories of updates. One is consecutive assistance. Previously, customers receiving direct payment assistance were required to pay 2 bills after every 3 months of support. Under our updated program, customers may receive assistance consecutively, provided that they reapply and continue to meet the eligibility requirements. We also increased our program flexibility. So customers were previously required to apply for assistance before being shut off. That requirement has been removed, allowing eligible customers to apply even after their service has been disconnected, as long as they continue to meet the program requirements to have it restored. We again budgeted $100,000 for this program in 2026. And as you can see in this graph, we are much closer to being on track, having spent $48,000 so far this year in July. And yeah, so I'm very proud of the progress we've made in this program. Okay, now we'll move on to 2027 priorities and goals for our budget. So our 2027 budget prioritizes maintaining or enhancing our existing assets with a focus on reliability and climate resiliency. Our priorities are as follows: distribution system improvements, electrical and control upgrades at Monroe Water Treatment Plant, Blucher Pool wastewater plant upgrades, Dillman wastewater plant phase 2 electrical upgrades. Next, Dillman collection system relief sewer, our Lower Cascade stormwater culvert, Clear Creek renewal project, the Winslow Sports Complex detention, and then Utilities Service Center at Winston-Thomas. Go through these individually now. For our distribution system improvements, CBU will be updating and replacing equipment at the South Central and West booster stations, which have met or exceeding their life expectancy. This project will fully modernize both stations with new pumps, valves, controls, electrical system, SCADA, and telemetry. We also plan on completing several large water main replacement projects with full neighborhood replacement. The design for these will be in 2026 to 27, with construction beginning in 27 and 28. The estimated total cost for combined design and construction is $11,150,000. That picture is also what I would consider the world's worst hot tub party. Our next priority is the electrical and control upgrades at Monroe Water Treatment Plant. These critical electrical upgrades will be made to the water plant's transformer and switch gears, emergency generators, variable frequency drives or VFDs, and associated conduits and duct banks. These electrical upgrades will be accompanied by improvements to our SCADA system, including replacement of our programmable logic controllers and conversion of our system to a more modern platform. This will increase reliability and cybersecurity at the water plant for an estimated total cost of $10 million. Next, we have Blucher Pool wastewater plant upgrades. We will be improving the dewatering and solids handling systems. This will include the replacement of our belt press system with a new screw press system, improving the efficiency of our treatment process and reducing cost of waste disposal. Design will be in 26 and 27, with bidding for construction occurring in '27. The estimated total cost is $2.3 million for design. Next, we have our Dillman wastewater plant Phase 2 electrical upgrades. This second phase of our whole plant electrical upgrades will begin next year. This project will include the replacement of medium voltage switchgears, the main substation for the plant, and the addition of a plant-wide emergency generator. Design is slated for '26 and '27, with bidding for construction in '27. The estimated total cost is $500K for design. In stormwater, we have our Lower Cascade Stormwater Culvert. The goal of this project is to connect the North Walnut Box Culvert and the old State Road 37 or Lower Cascades Box Culvert. This will eliminate erosion, improve flow and capacity, and protect our sanitary sewer in the area. Our estimated total cost is $750,000. Next is our Clear Creek Renewal Project. Our goal is to convert the 100-year-old limestone block open channel that confines Clear Creek south of West 1st Street into a more naturalized urban stream channel with water quality treatment amenities. The study phase is underway and will run into 2027 with design to follow in '27 and '28. The study phase will include the development of no fewer than 3 technically feasible alternatives that aim to reduce the regulatory floodplain for potential redevelopment within the corridor and will provide innovative stormwater treatment technologies. The estimated total cost for this study phase is $500,000. Next, I'd like to highlight our Winslow Sports Complex detention plans. CBU will be partnering with the Parks Department to improve the detention of stormwater runoff from the facility. We will be combining innovative water quality treatment techniques to improve the quality of the runoff. We will also be incorporating stormwater detention to lessen the impacts that large storms have on our downstream neighbors. This will further enhance our community's resilience to climate change. The estimated total cost is $75,000 for design. Finally, for our priorities, we have our Utility Service Center at Winston-Thomas. With implementation of the water rate increase, CBU will be resuming the design and moving forward with plans for the Winston-Thomas Service Center. Plans are currently at 50%, with design work being renewed this fall. A purpose-built service center improves logistics for field crews, allowing faster deployment and better emergency response. It also allows for stronger protection of capital assets, such as specialized service vehicles and supplies, which are currently being stored in the elements. Building a service center that meets utilities' needs moving forward is an investment that will save resources over time. Our estimated total cost is $2.5 million for design and $2.3 for construction management. That's in 2027. Now I just wanted to highlight in our challenges and opportunities section, primarily some opportunities. Our first is that I'm proud to say that we've secured a $5 million state revolving fund loan. It's low interest and partially forgivable from the Indiana Finance Authority to replace lead service lines and aging water main infrastructure. We also received $2.5 million in congressional funds for our booster stations and another potential $700,000 for our Dillman Relief Sewer Project. Finally, our Clear Creek project, along with our other CBU climate mitigation projects, were added to the county's multi-hazard mitigation plan, which puts us in a position to access additional funding sources like FEMA's Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities funds, which we are currently pursuing for our Clear Creek Renewal Project. Next, I'll do a quick review of our 2027 revenue budget summary. In our water, we have a 25% increase due to new water rate implementation August 1st, 2026, which customers will expect to see in their September bill. Our Sewer revenue has a slight increase. This is because we're anticipating a possible rate increase in '27. But because we do not have the timing certain, we're keeping that as a conservative increase. Same is true with our stormwater revenue. For water, so now we're just gonna look at the departmental budget for each utility. For water, we no additional staff, and then we just have a slight increase that reflects our COLA adjustment, and then some increases for updated union wages. And supplies, we had a slight increase due to annual price increases. And then our category 3, which combines other services and then extensions and replacement, there's a large increase in extensions and replacement, which reflects our ability now to fund portions of our capital projects through cash funds after the implementation of our rate increase. And then our other services had a moderate decrease, which was due to the collaborative reevaluation that we had of our interdepartmental, resulting in lower costs to the utility. And then our category 4 had a slight increase due to fluctuations in interest rates and then bond term variability. Next, in wastewater, again, personnel did not change significantly, with increases reflecting regular COLA adjustment and increase for updated union wages. Supplies and wastewater had increases due to annual price increases, increases in the cost of chemicals, and our supplies line item increased based on our run rate from last year, which reflected the actual cost of supplies that were used for projects that we were doing last year, that we were able to do in addition than what we expected. So this increase anticipates that we will continue to complete work at that same pace. And then in category 3, we have a net decrease, but this is the combination of an increase in extensions and replacements to support expanded project capacity. This is then combined with an overall decrease in other services, which had the moderate decrease due to the interdepartmental, and then a moderate increase in professional services due to the fact that we are doing more projects in sewer now. So overall, all of that came to a net decrease of 3.3%. And then again, in category 4, there was a slight increase with fluctuations in interest rates and bond term variability. And then in stormwater, again, category 1 is the same as water and wastewater. Our supplies, the increase in supplies reflects an addition, like the completion of additional work on the system, and we anticipate that this work will continue at that pace. And then the line item 3 is a combination of other services and E&R. Other services had an increase reflective of the historic actual costs of our projects, and the addition of professional services anticipated to support the design of those projects. And then extensions and replacements had a decrease, which just reflects the changes in our anticipated capital project spending. Again, it's worth noting in stormwater that the percentages are larger just in general because small changes on smaller totals results in larger percent changes. And then in conclusion, the 2027 budget request from the City of Bloomington Utilities allows us to provide safe, sustainable, and high-quality drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater services in a cost-effective manner, promoting public health, economic vitality, and environmental stewardship. Thank you for your consideration. Happy to take questions, suggestions, comments.
Okay.
Jim.
Jim?
So thank you, Kat. It's been a while since the board has really discussed Winston Thomas. And my memory, which may be faulty, is that in the past, we okayed one thing at a time, the assessment of this building, the okay for this, with always the idea that there was an off-ramp because we were never committed to the whole project. Well, at what point are we going to decide to either commit to the project or not? And on what basis will that decision be made? We keep spending a little bit of money, a little bit of money, and a little bit of money. And pretty soon that becomes a lot of money. So,
It's a good point, Jim. I think what we've done up to this point is things we needed to do to make a good decision. First, we needed to clean the site, which we needed to do anyway.
Yeah.
We got that done. And we needed to see what a new service center would look like and what we really needed in a service center. So we did the space studies and we've had architectural proposals, but not in detail. So if I'm not mistaken, what we'd be doing if we approved this proposal, then we'd be down the path of paying for architects to design a building. And so this is where we're about to the off-ramp or on the on-ramp, one or the other, the stay on-ramp.
I'm biting my tongue here. But I am 100% with what Jim said. We, as a board, have not approved the building of a center. One of the other things that has also been part of the discussion is that money has been set aside and that money would be coming from the water increase. Like, again, we were going to have the funds to do that. But I'm now seeing a number of 2.5 million for design, and I believe we've spent 900,000 in design already.
That is
Included in that.
included in that number.
That is included.
Yeah, that's the total cost for
So we're
design.
about, I thought we had spent more, but we're about 50% into the design, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
We absolutely have 50% design.
And so the idea is to move closer to 75% in the fall when we restart this, correct? And that's the off-ramp that we're talking about, like, once we get that deep, you guys, we feel like,
I feel like we've been paused on the ramp for 2 years,
Yeah.
waiting on this rate case, and then now seeing it in this budget is our first hearing about it. So I wrote that down too. This is our first time hearing about it. So I think before we would approve the budget, we would vote and say, we want to move forward with a site at Winston Thomas.
Let's also remember too that the city has come to us with and asking for, the mayor came to us, I forget the date, asking us to consider property for the not for the fire. That's already, that one's done. That for public works.
Yeah.
We've heard nothing on that. So I personally feel like this is now here right in front of us, and we haven't really finalized any plans.
yeah, the beginning of these conversations and the spending of monies began, I think, quite a bit before you came on as director. And that's a lot of years. And the longer this takes, the costs of building a new building are going up, 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 up. And I mean, at some point, we just have to decide, are we doing it or not? And yeah, I think
And, I mean,
spreading
do
this
we-
out over it must be 5 years now.
And I guess, does the city need our approval to even do this? I mean, are they gonna do it no matter what?
I don't think so, because we'd need to spend the money. Yeah. Bill?
Phil being engineering, I was just going to interject on the existing contracts that are in place for Winston Thomas, the design and the construction management. Those are already pre-approved contracts. And as Kat mentioned, those, we've already spent some towards the 50%. So we had to stop because we didn't have the money till we got the estimates so that we could put it in the rate case. And of course, yes, that did take quite a while. Now we're preparing to move back forward with those contracts, and in doing so, we're going to have both the architect and the construction management agent, Weddle Brothers, come back forward with amendments to those contracts just to update their costs there, because their hourly rates have changed over the last 2 years. So it's minor to the adjustment, but those will come back to the board. You'll approve any contract just as you did with the 2.5 and 2.3 million contracts previously. Those are already in place. So as we said, the sewer was already approved in 21 in that rate case to bond for the Winston Thomas, and then we were just waiting on water. Now we've got water approved through this rate case, so we've completed a lot of those steps, and then the next step will be completing design and bid for next year with the board's approval.
I'm trying to follow here. So the amount that is in the budget are you saying it's already been approved?
Yeah, those were contracts already in place with the Champlin Architects and Weddle Brothers.
But
50% design though, right?
No, the full amount was approved. Now, they had clauses in there where we could terminate the contract at 50%. They did have clauses in there, and those had cost if you terminate early that we incur if we
well,
chose not to
where I'm
move forward.
confused, Phil, is if we're approving in the 27 budget an amount, because it looks like it's it's a budget request, right?
So the costs that are in this budget presentation are total costs of the project. Not all of that cost is in the 27 budget. This is more of a presentation of the total costs of these projects that we will be working on in 27. Does that make sense?
She prefaced it with saying this is a priority and I took it as saying like we had been working on this and we're revisiting this coming this fall, but leading into 27.
Yeah, so it was presented more as a goal and priority for the utility overall. The actual budget costs are what was kind of in those charts and then in the budget memo.
Kat and I met earlier this week, and she recalled previous budget hearings where what's the update on the new service center. So she wanted to provide in her budget statement just an update to the board about where it stands.
So there's not a lot of new monies in 2027 that's going into this. And most of this has been pre-approved and done. So we don't have any new monies going in, so nothing new is being done.
Hold on, it seems like there is some monies, like, with the presentation that Matt made a couple weeks ago, was there anything in that? I can't recall.
I don't think so.
No?
No, it just had numbers, it wasn't detailed.
Yeah.
So to clarify a little bit, we paused on almost all water expenditures because we were low on money, and that included the new service center. So that money was, approved by the board, but we paused so we didn't have to borrow from sewer. And so now we're going to have the new revenue coming in the bond that can pay for the previously approved contract. There's going to be small adjustments, maybe $60,000 on a $2.3 million contract to adjust to those hourly wages in the coming month. We'll bring that back to the board.
Now, maybe I watch a little too much HGTV, but I see what those people do to existing structures. I think I could take this building and turn it over to some HGTV people, and they'd make it into a wonderful thing without, this way we're spending $1 million here, $1 million here, $2 million here. With that much money, I mean, that's why I say we we have not made a decision whether to go forward. And we keep spending more and more and more monies. And I guess I'd like to see what the cost of turning this building into something that would really be usable, better. And we've not done that.
Well, I think a lot of that the discussion's been that this isn't big enough for, not necessarily the building, but for me, the discussion tilted towards how much yard space and storage space that we're kind of landlocked here unless we wanted to go outside our current boundaries.
So if we're committed that we have to move somewhere, this does seem to be the best place. Why don't we budget for it and do it?
Yeah. So where we are is, getting us back on track, is we've approved design contracts. What we haven't done is approved construction, because design contracts would give us what it's gonna cost to do this.
Yeah.
I thought Weddle Brothers told us that, like in November of '24.
Yeah.
It was like $52 million or something. So I feel like we kind of got to a stopping point there, and then we were waiting on the rate case. So at some point, either before the budget goes to council and we have a vote next month that say, we want to move forward with the service center, yes, no, or we move forward with it as you have it presented and you say pending, utilities service board approval or something. I felt like we were always wait to approve the next step. I agree, like the expenses have skyrocketed, I'm sure, since just November of '24. But I didn't feel like we ever gave it the green light to we're going to do this.
I seem to recall a flow chart that was provided to us by Vic.
Yeah.
That was, here were all the points that we were going, as a board, that we were going to make that we were gonna have to make a decision. And nowhere, to my knowledge, have we approved going for, full 100% going forward with this.
No, we haven't. And we've got out clauses if we wanted to stop.
Right. And
And
again,
again,
this
that
is not like, and I don't mean to make it sound like it's an accusation. It's, I think we all know where we are in this process, but we have not put the final approval that this is what we're going to do. And there's still things that are up in the air with the office of the mayor that they proposed to us that I think play a part in us making this decision. They presented to us, I'd have to go look, I feel like a year ago.
About a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
With a proposed idea, and we've heard now nothing. Or maybe there has been talks going on, with staff, but,
They may be waiting on us. Because the discussion was, what would we sell this building for?
and if we would also give property to Public Works.
Right.
So that they could build on the Winston Thomas site. So it was kind of twofold. And I believe I believe the idea was that they were going to use this area for housing projects.
That was one of the
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an option.
options, yeah.
Can I make a
Sure.
suggestion? Just a couple. So one, I'd like to be able to highlight Winston Thomas in the budget. I think we've put a lot of work and money into it. I could change the language to represent where we are with design and be more specific that, we've approved design. That's where we're picking back up design, and don't make mention of construction because we have not approved construction. Because that seems to me where we're at as far as, incremental approvals along the way. We've we've approved the contract for construction. And again, when we bring those updates to the contract, this board can, you know, approve the cancellation of the contract. This board can approve the amendments to the contract. But sorry, where was I going with that? Yeah. Sorry, it's been a long day. Yeah, so I can change the language. I can remove it entirely. I just really wanted to highlight what we've done. Oh, we've made incremental approvals. I think it's important to think about our conversations around the water rate case and how we did have conversations as to whether or not to include the financing for Winston Thomas in the rate case. It doesn't mean you've approved to build it, but I think that is also an incremental step that this board has approved, is that we said, yes, we will include this in our rate case, which is, you know, kind of a big thing to include in the rate case, and a serious step. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, what you suggested, because the council needs to know where we're headed, where we are in all this too, when you make that presentation. And I think it'd probably be a good idea for us to get an update and revisit the whole topic in a subcommittee meeting, so we can dive into this a bit.
And one other thing, just to consider, again, when we had the original designs put forth, I know many of you guys were here, I mean, in some role or capacity, but I know we were under different leadership. Is the vision in these designs indeed what this leadership team sees? I mean, if that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we're 50% there, but are we 50% there with, you know, what's happened in 2 years?
Yeah.
So, you know, a vision of one leader can be different than another. So I want to support that whatever we're doing is not just for the here and now, but for the next, you know, what do we think, 25, 50 years?
Yeah. I mean, I will say that the initial work that Champlin did with us was very collaborative, not just with the existing leadership at the time, with some of us who are in different roles, but also with the staff who are here. A lot of the staff who would be impacted by the design changes, folks working in supply, folks who are working out in the yard, et cetera.
Okay.
One more
Yeah,
question.
Jim.
Yeah, so this is the budget for 2027. Do we anticipate that there will be a large amount of money available for a 2028 budget that would move Winston Thomas forward by increments?
So, in the budget, we have now both in water and wastewater, adequate rates to fund payments on a bond for Winston Thomas. And so so if you look to the 2028 budget, how would we be moving forward with Winston Thomas? It'd be securing that bond. It would be making those bond payments. Correct. Yep.
Okay.
Our plan is to have a separate bond that covers the Winston Thomas project itself. So,
Okay, thank you.
So, I think we ought to plan a property and planning subcommittee meeting to dive into the latest details and have some discussion about, so we can spend some time with this. A lot of good discussion tonight and some good clarification. I appreciate all of that. Well, we have a couple of options here, I think, in requesting approval of the budget recommendation. We can vote to approve this tonight, or, as Kat mentioned, we can deliberate some more over the next couple of weeks and approve it in 2 weeks. So if we need more discussion, we can wait, or we can move forward this evening. It's good either way, right?
Very much so.
What's your pleasure?
I'm not sure much is to be gained
Right.
by waiting. I think,
Yeah.
you know, if Cat feels there's a best way to present it to the council, that's fine. We're committed to the monies, and that won't change. So I'm prepared to vote right now.
Okay. I see heads nodding. Okay.
I think with the clarification, if you kind of fix that statement number 9 based on what we're proposing here, I could live with everything else. So, except for one thing. It's not COLA adjustment, it's COLA. Because it's
Okay.
like saying cost of living adjustment. So, it's like when people say RSVP, please, it makes me, it's like, no, they're saying please respond, please. But it's, COLA's, there's no COLA adjustment. It's just COLA.
I move that we approve the 2027 budget recommendation.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the budget recommendation for 27. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. There we go. Next item is the item 10, requesting approval for the service agreement with Ingersoll Rand, and Hector will give us an update on that.
Well, I hope mine is easier than the budget, so. This request, or this contract, is for $46,237 with 52 cents with Ingersoll Rand Industrial. This is to maintain the 3 compressors, do preventative maintenance in the 3 compressors at the wastewater plant, that they are vital for the operation. So happy to answer any questions.
Sure, is that at both plants, both wastewater
Not
plants?
only Monroe drinking water plant, my
Dr-
friend.
Oh, okay.
Monroe,
At Monroe only, okay.
yes.
All right. Any discussion on the service agreement?
Move that we approve the service agreement with Ingersoll Rand.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is requesting approval of the emergency service agreement with Wynn Industries. And Dan Hudson is here to discuss this replacement project.
I'm Dan Hudson, the Capital Projects Manager for the City of Bloomington Utilities, and I want to thank the board for your lively participation in the budget, and also thank Matt and Kat for their presentation. I thought it was great, but
Good.
I need to turn to something more immediate, an emergency service agreement with Wynn Industries. They were asked to replace the lining on 2 alum tanks at the Monroe plant. This included a custom fabrication of the liner, installation, and some welding at the bottom of the tanks. This needed to be done in order to maintain treatment process, which is very important, and to maintain reliable chemical storage as required by IDEM. They are asking $165,000 for this. It's a reasonable cost, similar to costs we did last year.
All right.
I'm open for questions, if you have it, to vote on it.
So this is an emergency agreement, so you didn't have the usual hunt out other suppliers process,
Did
right?
not. It was a sole source
Yeah.
with the company. And the reason why we chose this company, because we used them recently and they did a great job for us. And the cost for the bid that we did earlier was very similar to this. So it was compared.
Good. Any discussion or questions for Dan?
I move that we approve the emergency service agreement with Wynn Industries.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries.
By the way, this is already done. I have invoices. I need to pay on this.
It was an emergency, so we understand that.
Yeah. Okay.
We need the alum, so
Yes.
we're all
oh,
good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Next is requesting approval of the change order number 4 with Kokosing. Dan.
This is the Kokosing project at Dillman wastewater treatment plant for the site safety and process improvement project, change order number 4, which includes 4 different field change orders. Most of them have to do with repair of leaks in the discharge piping of the compressor, and also some heat wrapping and painting of the pipe. I think there is one that we get some money back on for disposal of some lead tainted material that we had. They're asking $65,335 for a new total contract amount of $5,214,109.
Okay. Any questions, discussion for Dan?
I'd like to bring up, this is the end of the project, and I don't expect any more change orders. This
Great.
should be it for this job.
Doing a big job.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, any other questions or discussion?
I move that we approve the change order number 4 with Kokosing Industrial.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. And finally, on the request, so we have approval of the service agreement with Wessler, and Dan's here with that.
Yeah, this is a construction administration contract, and it's actually for 2 projects. One is for the replacement of the filter media and the filter control upgrade project. So what the work would include would be review of shop drawings and approval of shop drawings, field observation, coordination with the contractor, startup and commissioning assistance, project closeout help. And that's for $304,000.
All right.
Dan's asking for a lot of money tonight.
Yeah, I am, yes. Well, this project is actually, it's a good price considering it's 2 projects combined.
It's
Yes.
all good progress.
Yes.
I move that we approve the service agreement with Wessler Engineering.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Dan.
We don't, okay.
Yeah.
I do apologize, but I have to leave. So thank you. Okay. Well, I didn't want to just get up without saying anything.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
thanks.
know that you're not mad at us,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Thank
Well, we
you.
still have a quorum, so we will drive on. Thank you. Thank you, Megan. All right, next is old business. Any old business from staff? Any old business from the board? Okay, new business from staff? New business from the board?
I just want to remind everybody out in the public that this is a very busy time for our community, which also includes our CBU team, as they change over hundreds and hundreds of apartments and houses. So kudos to everybody, and hang in there. We'll get through this month.
Well said, Amanda. We appreciate all the good work of our customer service team to help orient a whole bunch of people who've never had utility bills
Yep,
before.
Exactly.
Yeah, it costs to do that, yeah.
And I'll use it as one other plug, and I'll do it again at the next meeting to make sure that when you sign up for your service, please be sure to sign up for the meter watching system that we
Oh, yeah.
have in the event that you leave a toilet running or a sink running. It will save you dollars.
It works. It does. We haven't had any subcommittees since our last meeting. Staff reports.
Yes. First, we'd like to welcome Ariel Simmons, the new temporary part-time stormwater inspector. And we'd like to congratulate Liz Carter, our MS4 coordinator in environmental programs, who earned her Certified Professional in Erosion and Sediment Control, or CPESC, and Colton Harden, who received his CDLB. Congrats and welcome.
Very good, thank you. Any petitions or communications from the public? All right, seeing none, we are adjourned. Thank you.